All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Just a quick topic, food for thought, a headline article. You guys, like always, glad we're back to the normal peanut gallery in the comment section. I like and appreciate you guys. Always lots of good information, especially on these kind of topics, because there's always one guy in the comment section that can be like, hey, look at here, I did some more deep dive, and we'll post some great links. But what's your thoughts on the White House attempting to take on the meatpacking industry? I think it's all a bunch of hooey. I don't picture anything happening, but we'll kind of see. There's kind of a whole lot of topics here that we can go on, but we're just going to kind of stick to this one today and see what you guys think. So the White House came and they released a report that tied increased prices for beef, pork, and poultry to the lack of competition in the meat industry. According to the White House, the increase in beef, pork, and poultry prices at the grocery store account for half the price increase for food at home. Beef is up 14%, pork 12%, and poultry 6%. The report says the four companies who control the majority in each of the three markets are generating record profits. Remember that line. The White House is accusing them of generating record profits. So Mark Dopp, the COO of the American Meat Institute, says in rebuttal, inflammatory statements that ignore the fundamentals of how supply and demand affect markets accomplish nothing. Inflammatory statements. If only there was a way that we could see which one of these two people is telling some sort of truth. Well, we can, because Beef Magazine had an article out, and by Michael Herzer and Fabiana Battista, and in that article they mentioned that during COVID in May of last year, that the beef packer profit margin surged to a record $1,009.30 per head. Think about that. That is at a time when your pork and poultry producers were gassing their building, destroying their animals. And the beef guys were selling their steers at a massive loss. And the packer had up to $1,000 profit per head. So think about it, you had them cattle, a couple guys here locally, they had cattle marketed at a decent price, and they were told them contracts are no longer valid. Instead of hauling their cattle to the market for, $1.20 or $1.30 for a break even, to simply walk away from the cows and maybe make $1, they ended up selling a lot of cattle for under $1 per live pound, because that's where the local markets went. And you don't just sit on a cow or a steer. It's not like corn or soybeans or a grain where it just sits in your bin and you're just like, I'll ride it out. When corn is at, or beans are at $7, you don't sell, you wait till they're at 10 or 12. You can't do that with livestock. Every day that you are feeding that animal is costing you money. And so you're not going to sit on that animal for an extra 40 to 60 days to just ride out the market. You're losing money. You are losing money. At the same time, the packer made $1,009. So I don't know about you, but that infuriates me. You never want to promote violence or destruction of anybody, but I think our peaceful protests in Minneapolis targeted the wrong businesses. Just saying. So what is the White House going to do about it? They're from the government and they're here to help. So they are going to take strong actions, not regular actions, but strong actions to crack down on illegal price fixing and enforce antitrust laws and bring more transparency to the meat processing industry. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that they will do anything to the meat packers because they are politicians that are in bed with most of these corporations and in bed with China, and China owns one of the 4 packing plants and so companies, and so I see zero happening. They're going to provide relief to small businesses and workers. They're going to hurt by COVID. They're going to provide relief to farmers that had disruptions because of climate change, and they are working with Congress to make cattle more transparent and fair. I highly doubt any of that stuff because this administration, at the same time that they're going to say they're going to provide all this relief, sent how many of our tax dollars that they stole from us and illegally sent it to other countries. Maybe it's not illegal. It should be absolutely treasonous that they stole as much COVID money from the American taxpayer and sent it to the Middle East for gender studies. That money should 100% have stayed in the U.S. But being that what this administration is doing for the Green New Deal laws, these global laws, what other countries are even doing for green laws, I do not trust that this government is going to help us solve anything. They did issue a USDA to invest $700 million in grants to farms and food workers impacted by COVID-19 to help these workers pay for their PPE equipment, personal protection equipment, and meat pack workers and assist farm workers during this COVID stuff. I highly doubt the citizens will see much of that money. I think a lot of that money is just going to go right back into the old corporations. Like, here you go, JBS Foods, here you go, here's $50 million to help during COVID and to cover losses and get this money down to your employees. And these corporations are just like, okay. I'm sorry I sound cynical, but after a lifetime of watching corruption in politics and corporations, I don't buy any of this stuff that the government is claiming that they're going to help. But a big saving grace to this whole meat packers monopoly is that Representative Thomas Massie, it's Massie, calm down, it's not the really cool spelling of Massie, but it's still a clever name. He has worked with other senators to pass bills at the federal level to try to make it easier for small butcher shops to be opened up. At the state level, many states have done it. Minnesota is one of them. Go talk to Rick Bork about it. He did the certification, and so in Minnesota you don't have to be USDA certified. You can be Minnesota certified, and I could put up a little butcher shop. There's some grants, there's some cost sharing out there. The state of Minnesota has programs, so I could put up a little mom and pop butcher shop. I could butcher my own cattle, pigs and poultry for retail sale. I could sell anywhere, but my store has to be in Minnesota. At the same time, I can also butcher for other Minnesota farmers, and they could take the meat back and sell out of their restaurant, legal, and it's inspected, and you're good to go. It's just not USDA inspected, and that's quite all right. Saves the small shop a lot of time and hassle and money by not having to go through USDA. So that's great. Let's just end this one here What do you guys think of the Biden administration going after the meat packers? Do you see any resolve in the beef and pork and poultry industry? What do you see as a future for the meat industries? And then we'll have Glenn Beck telling us how there will be no beef in the future for us on a different video. And so, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you very much for watching.